Yo, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
Say hi, Alexa.
Hi, Alexa.
So, Alexa, what did we just watch?
We watched Star Trek, Bed, Bath, and Beyonce.
Yes, we did watch Star Trek. Hence the
Finally, we've been
Star Trek
talking
attire
about
that you may not be able
watching
to
this
see.
movie for like past how many reviews,
Yes.
and now we've watched it, and it's nice. We watched it with friends, fans of the fans.
Fans of Star Trek. Okay, so now having been, would you consider yourself, now that you've watched all the way through at least two series all the way through, would you consider yourself an avid Star Trek fan?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
Did you squeal when you heard a Star Trek Easter egg reference?
I don't really catch much references.
You didn't catch any?
I mean, I have more questions about things than about stuff. I mean, I actually have watched the other movies, like for real.
What other movies?
The other movies that have come out.
Of the trilogy so far. Okay, the new ones.
But I don't really remember what happened, so
Okay.
I don't really know.
Okay, so Alexa asked, well, this isn't really a spoiler. Alexa, there's a mention of Ambassador Spock, Leonard Nimoy Spock. There was a mention of him in the film. And Alexa's like, how does this tie into the rest of the story?
So is there just like an alternate universe that they're just like accepting?
In the first Star Trek, in 2009, Leonard Nimoy's Spock went back in time.
He shows up in the snow.
Yes, but first he went back in time because Nero, the villain in the first movie, went back in time.
Okay.
And then he killed James T. Kirk's father on his birthday.
Okay.
Okay? So the timeline is altered, so this is a different canon.
Right. So
Alright?
then.
So Spock existed in this universe because he was stuck here in this new universe. And he took on a role as like a silent advisor for Zachary Quinto Spock. Okay, so when they mention Spock, that's how it ties in. Anyway, enough of that. For example, there was an Easter egg reference of when they talked about the Xindi War. So Krall mentioned, the villain in this film, Krall, he mentioned the Xindi War. And that was a reference to Enterprise. So, anywho, so initial thoughts. What do you think?
I liked it. It's good. It's a good pace and everything. I really felt. Well, I've been watching like Star Trek Enterprise, so it just feels like I'm watching a like extended episode of Star Trek with just like better graphics, you know.
Yeah, well, better film quality, better budget, bigger budget. See, the thing is, I mean, I felt that way to some degree too. It almost felt similar to the Star Trek Voyager episode Workforce, kind of, where the entire crew was captured and they were on the planet.
I mean, like.
But see, you know, honestly though, I didn't mind that because it was still. This one I felt was in the spirit of Star Trek. I didn't feel that with Into Darkness. I didn't think that felt like a Star Trek film or a Star Trek story. The first one, Star Trek 2009, that one, like, it had to establish this new universe, so I understand why it didn't really feel as much like a Star Trek film, because it was just the new thing. So now I realize, watching this film, that now that they've established this universe, they've fleshed it out, they've told us what direction it's going in, we finally get an actual story told in the Star Trek universe.
Yeah.
Like it's an actual Star Trek story. And so it's finally like no more this is what Khan is now in this new universe. This is who this guy is, who whatever. These are where the Klingons are.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that anymore because now it's like an established universe.
It's kind of the same formula, you know, like Enterprise is here in this part of space, and then like crap hits the fan, and like bad things happen, and then they come together as a crew, and good beats evil. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in that way, like I could kind of like say that it's like kind of safe. Like it's kind of the same stuff, but I don't wanna necessarily say that either. 'Cause it's cool.
But you know, like I think the story worked for what it was. A few things were like small details. I didn't really catch, but maybe upon like rewatching it again, I'd catch. Like for example, like why was Krall searching for that bioweapon in the first place? You know, like what did that have to do with his mission? Or how did he search for that weapon? I don't really understand that. How did he get knowledge of that weapon? Where did that weapon come from? You know, so there's that. But apart from that, you know, everything else was cool. Like the destruction of the Enterprise, like that was, ooh, spoiler. It's not really a spoiler because you kind of see it in the trailer that the Enterprise is destroyed. But yeah, the destruction of the Enterprise, the whole sequence,
because, you know, apparently
was really good.
Everyone on Starfleet is so brilliant that they could just make it's like they can just make a computer out of like a pile of newspapers, you know, like all right. Sure.
On that, like that reminds me, one thing that I do appreciate that they brought back was a little bit of technobabble. I don't know, you know, like technobabble in Star Trek. So there was a scene where they're bouncing back and forth, like if you do this, if you do this, if you do this. This was how they devised the plan at the very end to disrupt the enemies. You know what I'm talking about? Trying to avoid spoilers here, but yeah, when they're throwing out like all these scientific ideas, it was done and it was done really well. It was done in a way where it's like, oh, okay, like I can follow this, and it wasn't so bad. It does. I don't think it would alienate most people. So, anything else you want to add? Oh, the girl character. I think she's actually a cool character.
Yeah.
I need to look up what actress she is because I know I've watched something recently with her in it. But and then though at the end, and okay, here's where this is quite a little spoiler. At the end, they say you can join Starfleet Academy and do this and do that. Like,
They wouldn't do that.
I don't think that needs to. I don't think they needed to go that route. Honestly, like, there have been situations in Star Trek where they take on a civilian, I guess, as part of their crew as like a specialist, kind of like Seven of Nine was on Voyager, Neelix, and Guinan and TNG. Who else? I mean, DS9 wasn't quite the same because it was a space station. Oh, another thing, I'm not sure, I didn't really watch the original series that much, but I'm not sure if that space station, the Yorktown, is an actual space station in Star Trek. It would have been cool if they actually like remade a new Deep Space Nine or a K5 base, so like a base that's already been known to exist in the Star Trek universe. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, totally.
Going too far into it, how would you rate this film?
I give it a 9.
What? You were all like, oh, it's okay.
But like, it's a nice, like a. What was the last movie we watched? Was it a scary movie?
The last movie we watched,
Was it like The Conjuring or something?
Was it? It might have been.
It's just like overall, it's like
No, it was Central Intelligence.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, compared to all the other stuff we've been watching,
It was a better film than a lot of the ones that
it's
we've
just
watched recently.
It's just better overall. And I mean, like, I can't.
Justin Lin did a great job.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg did a great job writing. Who's the other guy? Doug Jung? It must be a Korean guy. Never heard of him. I'm just surprised that they actually came up with a cohesive, bearable Star Trek film, where the script actually.
I feel like this one does a good job of just. Well, I don't know. I'm like a newer Star Trek fan, so it's like. But
Well,
I also get that, like, a lot of people who are like diehard fans that are like fans like the old school stuff are like super purist about it, but like this is kind of a good bridge of both old and new fans.
Yeah, of course. And I'm not a Star Trek hipster in the sense where, like, no, you have to be a hardcore fan to be a Star Trek fan. No, like, you can be a Star Trek. You can call yourself a Star Trek fan if you have like a fleeting interest in it. Just don't be like, I'm the biggest nerd in the world because I love Star Trek. I just jumped on the bandwagon. There's some people like that.
Yeah, Rihanna. I love Rihanna.
Yeah.
We're all Rihanna.
Yeah. I think that I think it's a good sign that this movie is good, and that they actually announced that they already announced the new movie. So I'm assuming, since Justin Lin, he makes these movies fast. Like, he's been the director of the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he makes them.
And
fast.
he makes them fast
and furious.
And furious, yes. So I would imagine seeing a new Star Trek film, as long as they're doing well and they're getting good reviews and people like them and people are watching them, you could see a new Star Trek film every two years. Probably.
I mean, the Star Trek franchise itself just has a good momentum right now because it's the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, happy 50 years.
They just have like a makeup line coming out. Like they had like an orchestra tour. Like,
just that we went to.
They're pulling out all this stuff.
A new TV show coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
a
good
time.
Resurgence for Star Trek.
Yeah.
And it's a good sign.
And it's also just a nice. I mean, with all the things that are.
It's like the 80s all over again.
With all the things going on in the world, it's like a nice kind of reminder of some kind of hope to hold on to.
Regardless of who wins this coming election, we know that in like 50 years. We will make first contact with the Vulcans, and we will establish a future where.
Yeah, I mean that's the interesting thing about these movies, because it's like, you know, we're in the future, and it's like this is the perception of the future. Like I can believe that this is the stuff that could happen, but I don't know. Okay, what did you rate it?
I would rate this film. An 8.75.
Nice.
So almost close to yours. 8.75. I want to see it again to just kind of pick up on a lot of the little things that I missed. But yeah, I like this better than the last two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's not anywhere close to how much I liked First Contact, of course. First Contact is still the best Star Trek film, in my opinion. But it's up there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right, guys. This has been another Alexa's and Daniel's movie reviews. Maybe we should do these on Periscope. I don't know. Anyway, for now, you can follow me at Victor_Kwan on Twitter, at Victor_Kwan on Instagram.
Half Conformist on Twitter, Alexcellent and on Instagram.
Yeah, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, hit the like button. You know what to do, y'all. All right.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. All right. 2 absent friends and the Enterprise.